for February 18th, 2026, the 394th day of the Sex Offender Administration. New Mexico's House of Representatives has approved creating a bipartisan special committee to investigate the ranch known as the Zorro Ranch that the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein owned in the state. If those walls could talk, they'd say Donald Trump. Shia LaBeouf was arrested shortly after midnight Tuesday in New Orleans after he allegedly fought with two men who told police LaBeouf assaulted them. According to the New Orleans Police Department, LaBeouf was allegedly causing a disturbance and becoming increasingly aggressive at the business on Royal Street. After a few drinks, LaBeouf isn't so shy anymore. An 18-year-old, Carter Camacho of Smyrna, Georgia, in a tactical vest who charged the U.S. Capitol with a loaded shotgun Tuesday was quickly arrested, U.S. Capitol Police said. Police said he acted alone. They are working to determine a motive. Camacho was just trying to get to the gift shop before closing. He was trying to avoid the crowd and a repeat of January 6. Federal officials say more than 20,000 peanut butter products sold by Ventura Foods nationwide in 40 states, including California, are being recalled after potential plastic contamination was discovered during manufacturing. Inspectors found pieces of blue plastic in a production filter, prompting the Class 2 recall, meaning exposure could cause temporary or medically reversible health problems, but the risk of serious injury is considered low. So, if you've given up blue plastic for Lent, avoid Ventura Foods peanut butter products. This has been a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for February 18th, 2026, the 394th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
Strangers.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Just about it.
We got a cup of coffee in here, please.
Chat room, I don't know. There's everybody. Disclaim everything. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, I have to, the button. I always forget about the button.
Damn, what it's hot and hot.
Right.
My dog is your mind's best friend. My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
See, there's Greg Warren. Stood me up last time he was doing a tour. He's doing a tour again. And looks like Aubrey Smith. I got, between the two of them, be able to get at least one of them. Anyway, comedians, they're all funny. Funny guys. Funny how. Yeah. Like this song. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. Not too long now. I think 2 weeks from this Sunday, the clocks move forward. How about that? And then we go back to daylight savings time, and not long after that, springtime comes, and everything is groovy. Everything is beautiful. So, do you feel optimistic? Do you feel happy? Do you feel excited? I know the picture for today, the thumbnail has two ladies on it, but there's only one, I'm sorry. One going to join us, and we're going to learn about the Golden Hearts Club, which is a novel, fictional novel, but I think somehow and I don't know this. We'll ask her. Cinda Swally, who was going to be here in the second hour, not in the first hour. And I'm not going to get to talk to her much because I got to run out. But I think it is kind of transitioned. I hate using that word because people think it means you're a guy putting on a dress or something. It transitioned into a real thing from a novel, Golden Hearts Club. It's about doing random acts of kindness for people. I don't think you need to belong to a club. You could just do it on your own. See, I'm like Carlin. I like people. I just don't like them when they get together and like become a group. But individuals, I love them. I love them. Anyway, so that's what we'll talk about today later on. And I'm going to leave GD holding the bag, and I don't mean to say that Cinda Swally is a bag. I'm just talking and saying stupid stuff, which is what I do. But you know what? Yeah, that's what you get with me. I'm sorry. That's who I am. That's what I am. That's who I was. That's what I is. Right. So anyway, right now, if I can, I want to tell you about something that I could tell you about called Wine Express. That's right, Wine Express. You're looking at the at what the homepage looks like there when you get the free shipping when you spend over $10 billion on wine, or maybe a little less than that. I can't see what the actual price is, but it's not really that high. WineExpress.com is an exclusive wine shop partner of the Wine Enthusiast catalog and website, which have been providing quality wine accessories and storage for 40 years. During that time, they've served millions of satisfied customers and built a loyal following of avid wine lovers. I love wine. I'm an avid wine lover. It's only natural then for them to have teamed up with a great wine shop to bring their customers first quality wines at value prices. And as I mentioned, you can get free shipping. So, except in this neighborhood, if they get a delivery too late, a delivery person is liable to get shot because I don't know, they don't like people pulling in driveways or something. A lot of controversy about that lately in this neighborhood. Anyway, Naked Wine. Link is in the description. Just go there, buy yourself some wine, and I will fade out as I say good morning to the one and only wino himself. The bump in the bottle type of wino, I guess. GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Shit, where's my bottle? Good morning, America. St. Patrick's Day is a little bit less than a month away. Go to minddogtv.com/merch to order your St. Patty's gear. Spend your green on our green. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
St. Patrick's Day, they don't drink a lot of wine, do they? I mean, wine doesn't mix with beer, right? It would make you puke if you mix wine with.
St. Patrick's Day, people have their own special drinks because on that day, I
don't know any Irish guys that drink wine. There's no Irish wine. Is there an Irish wine? I know there's German wines. I don't know Irish wine.
I don't think there's an Irish wine, but then again, there could be because you can make wine out of potatoes. You can ferment potatoes. Like, no, that becomes moonshine. It doesn't become wine.
That's vodka.
Dandelions. No. You can make dandelion wine.
Yeah.
You can make wine out of dandelions.
That's true. I've heard of dandelion wine. I can't imagine that. Anyway, Wine Express. You don't get the cheap dandelion wine. You get the Italian wines. You get the German wines. You get the French wines. You get American wines, right?
And you get the dandelion wine with a German label, so it seems fancy.
Napa wines from Napa Valley, which I have nothing to do with because it's an A, not an O. Evil Ian said all aboard the Wino Express. I like that. Wino Express. Listen, I fucked up. Okay, is it too soon to say fuck? Can I say fuck yet? I can't say fuck
anytime you want.
It's too fucking early to say fuck.
You're 2 minutes past fuck.
I thought we had two guests on today. It turns out we have one today in the morning show, and then one at night. And the one at night is about medical crime novels, which she's a pathologist. She's writing about medical crime. Medical crime has got to be a genre all to itself, right? There's got to be only books in the medical crime. I mean, Dr. Quincy, but that's not Doctor. He's just a forensic pathologist, and he's not talking about medical crimes. He's a medical guy who says if it was a crime or not, right? That's not the same thing.
The whole point, that would be a really boring show. I think he spent half his time solving the crimes, probably from his, well, now he'll be solving it from his laptop. Because
he looked a lot like Oscar the Grouch.
From the Odd Couple. He did. He looked a lot like Oscar Madison.
That's Oscar Madison, not Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch is from Sesame Street. I get the two mixed up.
But the two of them are pretty close in behavior. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Oscar the Grouch was based on Oscar Madison.
Probably. Who do we contact to find out about this? Is Jim Henson still alive?
Jim Henson. We call Jim Henson.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't prepared for that. You got a dog that needs walking, because I don't have a dog that needs walking anymore, and that's painful. Obviously, not to bum people out, but thank you, Heavy Kev, for saying to our dog friends. I just want to read this. If life transcends death, then we'll seek for you one day. We will seek for you one day. This Randy Fine guy, this guy who's bigger than a house. You know this guy?
No.
He's a congressman from Florida who got himself in trouble by. It's like a J.D. Vance thing. He invents this idea that Muslims hate dogs, and he came out with a statement that said the other day, if I have to choose between Muslims and dogs, dogs win every time. And then even like the right-wing people are saying, what the fuck is that? You racist, bigot mother. And he's not backing. He's as big as a fucking house. He eats dogs. He's the guy J.D. Vance.
Maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah. So, but he's not backing down off it. He's just like doubling down, tripling down. Like, yeah, Muslims eat dogs, or Muslims don't like dogs. Muslims will kill your dogs. So this morning he comes out and he said, I haven't heard one Democrat come out in support of dogs, like that you have a right to own a dog. Really? I know lots of Democrats who own dogs.
Some people are just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Some people are just fucking stupid.
He's also caught on tape cheating in votes in the House of at the salad bar, not the salad bar, the meat bar. No, in the House where people who were absent, he was going over and looking, and the camera caught him like voting for people who were not present for the vote, and he's caught on camera and doesn't face any backlash. I mean, no charges, no what do they call that? Censure from the House. You should. I mean, you're sneaking votes for other people without their knowledge, right? That you should get censured for that or thrown out, right? Or
I think thrown out is the. I would think thrown out would be the proper thing for anybody, not just censure, because first of all, we don't know how long he's been doing it, how many things passed that shouldn't have, because maybe with one or two votes. Even if he says, well, they were Republicans and they were going to vote the same way I was going to vote. Right. That's why the ballot's a secret. You don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Isn't there a way for them to vote in absentee?
I think you can vote by proxy. You can do. I think different places have like different rules. But yeah, sometimes you can assign someone to vote for you. Sometimes you can do it.
But this clearly wasn't that, because you see him looking around to anybody watching.
Damn it, cat. I'm busy.
What does the cat do?
She's really bugging me. My wife's not here today, and she really wants to talk to.
Make time for that cat, because the cat's life is not as long as yours. Make time for your cat.
I've made time for the cat many times a day. She wants more time.
That's nice. She's a good cat. Then she loves you. She doesn't
love me. She's needy. There's a difference. She's bored. She wants my wife. She doesn't know what to do. And the thing is, whenever. Okay, I'll be right back. Maybe the television's on the wrong channel. Usually, I put the television on free speech television, so she can watch Amy
Goodwin.
Put on
some stray cats for her.
No, right now I didn't change the channel. I think it's on MSNBC, and she's probably upset. I mean, I don't blame her. Who the fuck likes Joe Scarborough anyway, right? I know.
Minka Dinka, right?
Well, she loves him. I don't know if she likes him. But anyway, I'll be
Oh.
right back.
All right, don't just
Talk
take your
amongst
time.
yourselves.
Spend some time with your cat.
I'm not spending more time than I have to. I'll be right back.
Your affiliate newsletter.
What you need, girl?
Spaceships.
What you need?
All right. I don't know what Spaceship is, but they're sending me something on my newsletter like I signed up for it. Spaceship. I think I might be an affiliate. How about that? Your affiliate newsletter. Yes, that's what it says. Your affiliate. I don't even know. Maybe I should try selling something for them because I'm an affiliate, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to a gig today with over at the senior place, and Colonel Mike is going to show. Oh, is supposedly going to show up with his lady Teresa, and it's kind of weird because we're all seniors now. It's weird, but so to see my friends actually in the people I grew up with out there in the senior center listen to me, it makes me feel like.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back and.
Oh, were you gone?
Yeah.
Where's the cat? I thought the cat was going to come on the show.
No, I put her in the window. I put her in the window so she could look out the window. Unfortunately, there are no birds out there today. Usually the birds are around the bird feeder, and that can distract her for long enough.
Can you smell springtime where you are? Do you feel it coming? Do you see it?
My sinuses are so clogged. I wouldn't know springtime from an old spring mattress at this point.
So it's 35 degrees here right now. It's going up to 40 today here. 40 degrees. So that's promising. I almost feel like I'm going to make it through this winter. I'm almost optimistic about surviving the winter. How about that? That's something.
Okay. Well, it's 37 here and overcast.
How come you get 2 degrees more than me? That's not fair. It's not fair, I tell you.
You pay extra for them. They're not cheap. They're not free. You get what you pay for.
Have you ever met somebody named Cinda before? It's a different kind of name. Cinda, not Cindy. Cinda.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever met anybody named Cinda?
I met a Cinda. Yeah. Luau Cinda.
A Cinda. Luau Cinda. Oh, wrestler, right? Is that right?
Basketball center for the.
Before he was that's Kareem right. No, that's Kareem. Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Before he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it was Luau Cinda.
Have you seen fake fights?
That's
right.
I've seen wrestling.
But on Facebook now, and they fooled me, like because they got this guy Tyson Fury fighting a George Foreman in his prime, and I'm like, that's weird, because I could see him fighting maybe the big fat old George Foreman or something at some point along the line, but. There's all these now, and once I clicked on one, now I'm getting like Mike Tyson.
They've been around those things have been around a very long time.
They fool me because they're very real looking.
Yeah, they've had those. They had those back when Tyson was fighting. I remember seeing a video, a computer rendition of what it would be like if Ali fought Tyson. Wow. And it was pretty good for the technology back then. I mean, anybody know anything about boxing would know that those two things didn't happen, but
what is Sunshine saying? A storm's brewing. What is that? A metaphorical, or is that a storm? What are we talking about? Is it a big storm in America? This United States of America thing, or is that what's she talking about? Storm's brewing.
Well, last night I had my workshop with Dylan, and he told me he's going to be coming to the show out when I'm in California. So
did you tell him to sit in the back? Sit in the back. Wear a bag over your head.
I didn't tell him anything.
Wear a bag over your head.
Because where he can sit wherever he wants to sit. I'm just going to do my show, and also there's another person who's in the workshop, a woman named Kate. She said she'd be there. And
I might ask you about this because you're going out to California. Yeah. And it just occurred to me that every time you say, and from California, you put on this kind of grumbly, I don't know.
My worst rendition of Larry King. And from California.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, does sound a little Larry Kingish.
Yeah, I haven't researched it to see what his voice actually sounds like. So that's just the way it is in my head. And in
What
California.
is
Hello.
this? Is this something about California, or it's just the idea of I don't know, taking phone calls or something? What makes? Because you don't do it for everybody. You just do it for Ann. You don't do it for, sunshine. Good morning, sunshine.
I did it. I did it because she was at the time I did it. She was the only person in Governors, and I wanted her to feel encouraged to, and that's what same with when Mickey is on there now. I don't go Mickey, because first of all I don't know where Mickey is, and second of all,
Mickey's I think in Portland, right? Is he Washington
could be
State or something?
Yeah, I believe he's West Coast, and I believe it's in the Portland area.
Portland, Washington, one of them. Yeah, Northwest type dudes. Well, and now these people on the West Coast, they're up early, I guess. I don't know how you do it. I'm having enough trouble getting up here on the East Coast where it's already mid-afternoon here.
I'm starting to stress out. I'm starting the nightmares are getting worse. I'll always,
Are you scared? You're really scared.
I'm terrified. Yeah. I'm terrified, and I know yeah.
I love it. I love watching you sweat. I love seeing you sweat.
I don't sweat. I don't sweat like that. I just get nervous and scared, and
should I eat the bamboo butt now?
If you want.
Not bamboo. What do they call them? Baboon butt. Why I say bamboo? Baboon butt.
Because you're probably thinking Cheech and Chong, Big Bamboo.
Right. Well, I do have bamboos, little bamboos, the little bamboos, but baboon butt. I don't know. I don't know. Because they don't tell you, is it sativa or is it with indica or whatever, or hybrid or whatever. It's just THC baboon butt gummies, and so I don't want to be falling asleep during the gig, but I don't want to reek like weed. You wouldn't
be falling asleep at my gig anyway because you have your own, right? You're going to be in Metsville.
Where?
Aren't you doing a paint party?
Not today. No.
You said doing my gig. So you have a paint party?
I got a gig. I got a senior citizens music gig. So and it's an early one, and I don't want to reek like weed when but I don't want to I also don't want to be straight as a fucking arrow. And I don't know if I should eat the whole baboon butt or just half a butt. Baboon butt. We're not sponsored by Baboon, but I don't know. It seems I don't know what to do. I've been holding on to my baboon butt for about a week now. What's going on over there? Why is my it's like that robot, the robot that is in the phone that listens, came alive when they heard baboon butt. Like it's not like I say an Alexa or the real name, whatever, but baboon butt. Boom. Oh yes, sir. Yes. Did you call me?
Yeah.
So you don't have any advice for me on baboonism?
No.
How about Ian? Ian's a guy who knows about this shit. He's probably gone. He probably went to order wine express or something, and he's gone for the day. Anything worth talking about in the world of the thing?
I wasn't paying much attention, to be honest.
So
it's funny.
Basically, we're just gonna say, okay, rape, murder, torture, all that stuff. Sure.
Okay. Well, do you know Bill Steinberg? He died.
Who?
Bill Steinberg. I think he wrote "Like a Virgin" for Madonna.
Really?
He died. Yeah, he died.
Really? Is that his only hit?
I don't know. I didn't do the obituary. I just saw he died.
Like a Virgin. Well, I'm putting in Like a Virgin because I don't know the guy's name again. Bill Steinfeld.
Okay, Fred Wiseman died. He was a prolific documentary filmmaker behind the controversial 1967 film Titty Cut Follies. Is it Titty or TT? Titi Cut Follies. He's dead.
It said Billy Steinberg was 75. That's
right. He's 75.
I used to think 75 was like ancient. Now, I got friends who are older than 75, and they're still working, a lot of them, which is weird. Like the other day, we had Farentino on. He's 75. I was rudely said, "Do
Jackie
you know anybody who's?"
Mutling's over 75 and he's still working.
Yeah, but he's working. But Jackie works like once a month, twice a month. I asked Farentino because I just assumed he wasn't work. I said, "Do you know anybody who's still working steady?" Yeah, me. I'm like, I thought you were just picking and choosing. Like Jackie, I'm saying is picking and choosing. He does like I'll do one a month or something. I pick and choose my gigs. Not working steady. Working steady to me is like doing 2 or 3 a week, that kind of thing. And he said, "Yeah, me at 75, good for him." It's just a lot of energy to do it 2 or 3 times a week at 75. Even at 66, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. That's why I quit. No, that's not why I quit. I quit because they're all fucking Nazis. That's why I quit. But I'm glad I quit because I think it was taking a toll on me, that doing 2 or 3 gigs a week, and then still doing the other shit that I do too, the paint parties and the daytime gigs and all that stuff. Just way too much. I don't know, but so now 75 doesn't feel that old. It feels kind of. I know it is. I know it is old, but it doesn't feel like it for me because it's right around the corner, like Valentine's Day, right around the corner. But it's the old corner. It's around the corner we just passed.
Yeah, it's around the corner where the fudge is made.
Yeah. All right then. Are you all set? Because as soon as Cinda Swally comes in, I'm going to say hello. What time? And see you later. Here's GD. And are you okay with that?
I'm going to have to be. Well,
no, you don't have to be. You could just
say,
I'm out of here too. Do your own interview.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, that's nice that you wouldn't.
I got packing to do. I got stuff to buy. I got equipment to test.
Really?
Yeah.
Equipment to pack? Like
yeah.
what?
Well, I take my own microphones
for the Funny Old Fart show, not for the California show.
Well,
you don't take any.
I'm taking my own microphones and stuff. Yeah, I always take my own mics because I prefer to have wireless mics. Most places don't have wireless mics, and then since I'm streaming it on Plausible, I got to take that setup with me.
Oh yeah. Oh well. So what is that? A laptop? Is that what?
It's my laptop. I got it down to like a very small package, except for the interface for the microphone, because I have a nice size condenser mic, which is about this big, and then I have an interface to go from the mic to the laptop.
You put it in your suitcase and check the bag, or do you carry it on?
I'm checking the bag. I'm checking the bag.
See, that's scary to me.
I know it is scary.
Because I've had like very expensive cameras get lost by airlines. I had a guitar.
Now the laptop I'm taking. The laptop I'm holding onto it in my hand.
I haven't been on this is how long I haven't been on the plane. Can you get internet while you're working on the plane, like Wi-Fi and stuff, or no?
I'm not going. I don't. Well, I guess if you have satellite stuff, I mean, there's a way of getting internet. I've seen people get internet while they're on the plane. Maybe the plane has Wi-Fi or something like that. And if you do, it's going to cost more. Good morning, Mr. Craig in New Mexico.
Yeah. To what
I hear your representatives just passed a bill so that they can investigate the Zorro Ranch, which you said matters on this show. You got them. You got them to do something.
Yeah. Did he do that? Did Craig do that?
Wow. According to good morning, Ann in California. Ann says, oh no, Tony says Steinberg also wrote True Colors for Cyndi Lauper.
No. Oh, maybe. Because I was thinking All Through the Night. That's Jules Stern, right? But yeah. So yeah, True Colors is a different song. Yes, I'm wrong. All right. So Tony's right and I'm wrong.
That's a beautiful song. All Through the Night. That's a beautiful song.
It is, but she sang it wrong. She sang the harmony part. Jules Stern wrote it, and he talks about that in one of his storytellers thing, and he sings it the right melody. But when he gave her the demo tape, she just naturally started singing a harmony part to it. So the hit song that we know.
Well, I didn't know what the other song was. I didn't know what the other version was. So as
I
far as
didn't
know,
until 10 years after Cyndi Lauper's hit. I didn't know about it until like long after she had the hit with it, that she was singing the wrong.
And she also does a song that Prince wrote, and I can't remember the name of the song now.
That's the name of it. I can't remember the name of that song.
Yeah,
now.
Prince wrote it.
Great song.
It is. It's a really good song. I like it a lot. But Prince wrote it, and I can't remember the name of it.
Are you familiar with this conspiracy theory now? You know the conspiracy theory? You know the one I'm talking about.
Time After Time. I think that's the one.
Time After Time. It's a great song. I love that song.
I think Prince wrote that.
You know, if you're lost, you can look and you will find me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful song.
But really if you're lost, you can look and I will find you. Or I will look and I will find you. If you're lost, you can look. I'm not lost. Right? It just doesn't make sense. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. I'm not lost. You don't have to find me. I know where I am. I'm here.
Then you don't need to find her. She says if you're lost. So if you're lost, if you're not lost, you don't need that song. You did a different song.
I don't know. You lost me.
Well, you better find Cyndi Lauper then.
How's she doing these days?
She's still performing.
She is still performing. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Where's my little thing about the conspiracy theory? I can't find it. It's gone. I lost it. I'll never be seen again.
And so I'm stressing out. Which means I'm gonna probably start developing a little rash.
Can I? Because I understand you stressing out, and believe me, I feel your stress. But I've been wrestling with this a lot lately and trying to figure out how to deal with it on my own. And the question
I'm not
I have
taking
for
drugs. I'm not smoking weed.
No. I'm not asking you to take drugs. I want to ask you a question. What's the worst that could happen if things go wrong? Like what's the reason to fear? What is there to fear? The only thing. Let me channel Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. How about that? What's the fear?
Well, I have this terrible habit of reliving some of the worst memories over and over and over again. Some of it so I can learn from it so it never happens again. Some of it because it just bothers me because maybe things were preventable and I knew they were preventable and it was something I did to cause it.
Right.
And I don't like speaking in public.
I feel you on that because I have a paint party tomorrow night for the Mets. Now, this is unusual because I'm not leading the party. I'm just an assistant. So there's absolutely no pressure on me whatsoever. But still, I don't want to. I'm doing these paint parties. In a way, I like them, but there is this part where I don't like them. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Stuff I don't speaking. You just say I don't like speaking in public, but you sign yourself up with speaking in public over and over and over again. It's a weird. I don't know.
And part of that's because part of it is because I hate for things to go to waste. And I'm so close to the end of this, to the end of the comedy thing. I know it can't last long. No, I started at 55. I'm not like my friend Dave Yakeley, who's performing with me Thursday night. He's 77. I don't think he's done a headlining gig ever. The stuff that he's done with me as a feature is probably the most he's ever. Well, actually, I've never had him as a feature. I've had him as an opener. But I don't. Is
he enjoying it at 77? So it doesn't really matter.
I think he's enjoying it as much as he can. He's a curmudgeon. He's a curmudgeon, but he's got.
I like him already.
Yeah, and he does theater. He's not. Comedy is not his first love. His first love is theater, but he does comedy.
I'm wondering if comedy is anybody's first love. Is it anybody's first love? Comedy?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. Like, I can't speak for everybody. I'm sure there's some people out there who love comedy or used to.
Can we switch gears from comedy into conspiracy theories? Comedy's here. Conspiracy theory over here.
Well, I haven't gotten everything off my chest, but sure, let's switch.
Oh, go ahead, get it off.
No, go ahead, switch.
All right, conspiracy.
I can tell you weren't interested anyway, but if she effectively said you want to switch,
well, because I really that's not the same person.
No. Nope.
But okay,
look at the
I totally agree. I totally agree. They don't look like the same person, and they don't sound like the same person. The voice, they did like a voice analysis. Don't sound like the same person. So the logically conclusion is it's not the same person, right?
Right.
But the one on the right is in jail as the one on the left right now, doing time, and now it's a minimum security thing.
Wait a minute. What do you mean the one on the right is doing time as the one on the left? They're not the same person.
Huh? Yeah, but the one on the right is in jail as Ghislaine Maxwell. The one we don't know who that one on the right is. The one on the left is Ghislaine Maxwell. The one on the right is doing time.
What do you mean she's doing time for her? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense.
She's in jail. She testified. This person testified in front of Todd Blanchard. The one on the right is the one who gave Todd Blanchard and is the one in Ghislaine Maxwell's prison cell in the minimum security prison. The one walking the dog. The one she's pretending to be Ghislaine Maxwell, like or whatever. Well. Why would you do that? Why would you go to jail for somebody else?
I'm sorry. I'd have to have some kind of verification to believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. That they don't. I don't believe that's true.
What don't you believe? That she's in jail?
I'm not saying that she's not in jail. That I'm just saying that Ghislaine Maxwell is walking the streets or something, and there's somebody impersonating her in prison.
I'm not sure. I didn't say that's where it gets really like. I don't believe in that she's out walking the streets or anything. But this person, the one on the right, this video of her testifying and giving saying that she would whatever, she wanted a pardon from Trump to give all the door. She's pretending to be Ghislaine Maxwell, and they. There's video of her talking here. Is this it? Yes, this is it. New release video shows Ghislaine Maxwell pleading. Let me show you if I can share this sucker. Oh, don't go, don't play too far yet. Don't, you buffering bastard. Oh, I'm gonna ad anyway while I do this. But yeah, so there's a deposition of her talking like she's Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, wait a minute, why would you do that? Why would you pretend to be the worst person in the world? Or the worst living the partner in Epstein's little thing? It doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, this how much would they have to pay you to go to jail as like Jeffrey Dahmer or I don't know, you could, but you know what I'm saying? How much would they have to oh, I'm not paying for, no thanks, give me away. I don't want to play their commercial, so hold on, I'm waiting until the commercial's over. They don't give you the option to skip it on CNN.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the dead air here. You can't hear the dead air.
No, I can hear the dead air.
Ace is the place with the shitty face.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
That's the woman that
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, is it your intention to answer every
is that
question
enough
put to
proof to you that
today?
this person is pretending to be Maxwell, or do you at least agree that person right there is the person in the right on that photo who is pretending to be Ghislaine Maxwell?
Put the side-by-side pictures again. Maybe the heads are tilted. Maybe her head is tilted forward or something. Because I know one is smiling and one isn't. So I'm not trying to go by the cheekbones and stuff. I'm looking at but the head is tilted back a little bit or forward. It could make the shape. Make the nose shape the appearance of the nose shape a little. Make the nose look like a shape different.
They look totally different. I think everybody who's seen it, I mean, I've heard plastic surgeons talk about it and say that's not the same person. I asked all the AI people, what, you know, when I asked Grok, they said the photo appears to be Rachel Maddow. I was like, what? It's supposed to be Ghislaine Maxwell.
No, let's see the glasses. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, if you're in prison, I'm trying to see the difference in the air. The ears would be a big tell.
The
but
ears
the lighting,
is different. The nose is different. The chin is different. All of it is. It's. They keep saying it looks like Mike Myers wearing.
Maybe she doesn't have. Maybe she doesn't have the Botox, and maybe she doesn't. She's not getting her Botox treatment. Maybe that's what she. Maybe that's her unbotoxed look.
It looks like a reverse nose job, though, like because the nose is slimmer and I don't know, more sculpted in the earlier picture, and the one in prison, the one on the right, it looks like, oh no, we'll make it pudgy and fat. I don't know. It's just they don't look like the same person in all the AI things.
They don't look like the same person to me at all. But I'm not convinced that that person testifying is the same. I don't know. Maybe there's. I don't know.
Oh no, like, that's a still from that video deposition. There's nobody is disputing that this is a screenshot of the woman testifying as Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh,
and like taking the fifth.
How long she been in prison? How long she been in prison? Like I said, maybe that's just what prison does to you.
2018. 2018 she's been in Faces of Mess.
Okay,
I don't know.
8 years. Like instead of Faces of Death.
Yeah. She pressed her nose in, making friends in orange. But it wouldn't make any sense to me, though. Like, because the conspiracy theories, and they're saying that when she got moved from maximum security to minimum security, that's when they swapped her out. Swapped her out what? They just sent Ghislaine Maxwell on her way and got somebody else to say, sure, I'll go in prison as her. None of that makes sense at all. They've fucking gone crazy with the conspiracy theories about how it's supposed to make sense at all. But there are literally, I mean, thousands and thousands of people looking at that, professionals, facial recognition, saying this is not the same person. The person testifying is Ghislaine Maxwell in front of Congress, taking the fifth, not her. Why? How? And Sunshine said, yeah, make it take a fingerprint. That would make sense. Why haven't they done that? But they're trying to sell this to the public that this woman is the same woman. Like, wait, no. It's very weird. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. I was going to show the image one more time here, but if you look at the eye line, the ears got different. The ear went down, like on the eye line. On the one on the left, the ears are above the eye line. On the one on the right, they're below the eye line.
Well, that's what I'm wondering about. If the heads are, that's what I'm wondering about. If the head is tilted up or down, because that would make a difference. The lighting, and I'm trying to look at the shape of the ears, but the lighting is not the same. It's not the same lighting. So the shadow on the ears I can see, and the haircut slightly different. Like that,
all that stuff could make a difference without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, like angles.
And I'm thinking 8 years in prison without your Botox. Sure, why not? Why not have your face a little bit puffy?
It was the House Oversight House Oversight Committee, and they were testifying, and she was taking the fifth. The one on the right,
right? That's the House, the Oversight, and it was done over Zoom. They didn't bring her in,
right?
Well, not yet. So
let me just show one more time the share screen here, because there's no doubt that this is the same person. This is the same person as the woman on the right here. It's not going to play, right?
Of your Fifth Amendment right against
that's the person on the right in that video.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
The answer to that is yes also. So just as her lawyer, I'll tell you yes.
And what we saw there was just a screenshot from this. That on the one on the right was a screenshot from that. But
as
again,
much as we appreciate
WCNN ad. Sorry, get out of here.
I mean, different,
Yeah, so
different
I don't
camera
know.
angles, and I don't know if the zoom camera is making things look a little wider or something, because I thought she was more svelte than that. I thought she was thinner, and that body there, but she looks a lot thicker. I thought she was more
Right.
svelte. So
And
maybe the camera is making things wider. I don't know. Alex, I don't know enough. I'm not big on conspiracy theories. You know,
Yeah, but all that is correct, and I definitely am not big on, especially this conspiracy theory that doesn't seem to make any sense. Like, why? What are you saying they did? They let her walk, and they got somebody else to go to prison for her, and then Comey
well,
or
okay. As far as that last part goes, if you have somebody who's in prison anyway, and they're in maximum security, and you're saying to them, look, keep your fucking mouth shut. You get this, and you're going to be in prison anyway. You got to do 10, 20 years anyway. You can do it here in maximum security, or you can have this cushy little cell over here. All you got to do is keep your fucking mouth shut. Okay.
And
There.
pretend to be the worst, one of the worst people in the world, so that I'm. It's not like a guy's prison where
Well,
you're
it's
gonna
not
get
like
butt
it's not like she's on a dating market, okay? And even if she was on a dating market, she's not going anywhere for 10 years. When she get whatever the time period is. Look, like I said, I can find a logical explanation why somebody would do that. Kind of like yeah, so like even okay, if the picture on the right here doesn't look like the woman that was on the left in the other picture either.
Well, that's a confirmed picture of Ghislaine Maxwell.
What I'm saying is that the picture that was when you had the other two side by side with all the little dots, the one that was on the left was Ghislaine, and that doesn't look like they don't look like the same person either.
I think they do, but you can see the features are the same. The nose is the same kind of thing, but this chin, look at the chin, the flattened chin on the one on the left here with the hand up, the one taking the oath. And obviously, if it's her, she put on a lot of weight, but they don't look like the same person. And so
that's what I'm saying. They put on weight and she's puffy. We don't know what prison does. I'm not going to engage in that.
It doesn't flatten your chin out. You don't change bone structure.
No, but fat will make your bone structure look a lot. Will hide your bone structure. Fat will hide your bone structure. Believe me, I know. Look, I used to have really great bone structure.
It doesn't make your chin
and
look flat.
Old.
I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell has a pointy chin, like a point, and this woman with the hand up here has a very flattened chin, very flat, not long, not elongated, not pointy. It's hard to, but again, now if you want to bring it to the ridiculous conspiracy theories, nobody in Congress even question if this person came in not looking like the person they're supposed to be, and nobody in Congress even said, "Hey, wait a minute, can we get some verification that this is who she's supposed to be?" It doesn't. None of it makes sense. But it's like a feeding frenzy in the. What does the chat room think? Next, Matt will be saying Joe Biden was replaced by. No, I'm not saying. Listen, nicest guy, dipshit. I'm not saying I believe in any of this stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the people in the pictures don't look like the same people. And I defy anybody to say, yeah, that was, even GD when he first saw it, they're not the same person. That was his first reaction.
One of those persons was happy-go-lucky and living free, and the other one's been through some shit.
But the whole replacement stuff, this kind of things with the body doubles have been, whether it's Melania, Hillary, Joe Biden, all these people. Not the body doubles thing is just ridiculous anyway. I can't. But this woman went and testified in front of Congress, and again, they did a voice analysis. It doesn't even sound like Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, they went with known Ghislaine Maxwell speaking in front of people, played that audio, and then this person. And
yeah, but unless you have the same circumstances under which you're recording them, I'm not going to go about at these amateur people. No, I mean, I don't know what they're doing for voice analysis. I don't know,
Well,
but
Maxwell has a very
I mean,
pronounced.
I can't even tell my own voice. And like, I record myself doing comedy on this. I record well, that's not a very good example. I just recorded half my set this morning, and I listened to it, and it doesn't sound like me. And I just recorded it.
If one had a very thick English accent and the other one didn't, it had no accent at all, or the other one sounds like it has almost a German accent, yeah, I think you would be able to say, well, that just doesn't sound the same at all. And it's not you hearing it, it's like objectively lots of people saying, that's not the same voice. That's not the same voice. Ghislaine Maxwell's body double in jail. CCTV camera raises alarm over Epstein's ex. Oh, let's watch this. You know what? I'll take the hit. Ready? I'm going to take the hit. Want to see me take the hit? You don't want to.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, that was a good hit. Geez, there's so many buttons to push with these things. How's this? All right. Maxwell, see now, come on. Those don't, you're going to tell me those look like the same person? No matter putting on weight. Look at the chin difference here.
But take off the glasses. Like, for example, I don't know. I'm willing to bet that if that's the same person, she's put on weight and like I said, very depressed, as opposed to being free and running free and having her makeup and her jewelry. And there's probably no makeup. Next to that they didn't look the same person, but I'm not going to go so far as saying that they're not the same person.
How long is this thing? Jeez.
Too damn long. Look what the red line is.
Federal prison links American remote courtroom appearances surface to video release. I don't know. It doesn't look like the same person. We've had like forensic analysis, facial reconstruction guys, facial recognition guys, plastic surgeons, all these people saying that's not the same person. You know, so, but any conspiracy theory doesn't make sense. Like, why would they? Did somebody have? I don't know. Well, they might want to silence her because she doesn't know shit. But then the person is taking the fifth and saying she would only testify if Trump gives.
Well, Ghislaine is dead, and they got this other person to play her because they don't want anybody to know that she's dead yet.
You guys should do a show from the front gate at Zorro. Can we? Are we allowed to do that? I mean, GD's not allowed in New Mexico because of that thing that happened in 1994. But I would go.
That was 96.
All right.
No,
well, that was the other 94. GD. Hold on, let me blow up the body double for GD here. Wait a minute.
It was I'm trying to think. Was it 94? Let me see. Yeah, it was before my CD came out, so it was somewhere between 92 and 94. It was early 90s, before 95, I guess. Yeah.
I would like to take a road trip back to. I haven't been in New Mexico since 1997. I would like to go back there and definitely go to the Zorro Ranch, maybe. But I don't think they would. I think there's probably security. You guys can't do this here. Get the fuck out of here. That kind of stuff. But
yeah.
Bottom line is, I literally don't believe that the person that Comey put in front of him to take the fifth was her. But that's as far as I'll go with this. Like, why would he do that? Why would he put on this dog and pony show with somebody who's not her? and nobody questioned it. Nobody said, "Hey, wait a minute, is that like nobody's seen pictures of it before?"
Well, I'm gonna go with the Occam razor thing. I'm just gonna say it's her. She's just been through some shit. It doesn't look the same. You know.
Is any more? Because some of those pictures of her were recent. It wasn't like.
Yeah, it's like my sister. It's kind of like my sister. Before she, before she, before she overdosed. She was thin. She was losing weight. She was, my God, like maybe 20, 30 pounds less than that. She was just terrible looking. And after she went into the coma and she came back with a vengeance. Didn't look like the same person at all. She was cleaner. She had put on weight. She was happier. Totally different, like a totally different person.
It's not. I want to see if, because there are pictures from her from the day supposedly going in that look more like the one, the first image, the one that verifiably her, the one that is obviously her. We've seen a million times of those pictures of her. There are pictures of her walking into the courtroom that look like her, and then the person in front has got different clothes on, the glasses, like she's not wearing glasses in the picture walking into courtroom. Yeah, here. Can we see this? Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can share this. God, this is so. Where am I doing? Do you know what I'm doing?
I have no idea.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm not doing.
People on the radio, I apologize for this riveting conversation about.
Well, come on. This is the same person with the glasses and the. I mean, this is from jail. This is from jail. So if jail's doing that to her, jail hadn't done it to her, recently. She was looking exactly the same as she always looked. But then all of a sudden, oh, you're not even seeing that. No wonder. This picture is her in jail.
How long ago?
Within the last year. So she went from that
to 12 months ago? Within the last year, 12 months ago, 11 and a half months ago?
Yeah.
People, look, I put on 20 pounds in about 5 weeks.
Pounds is one thing. The face changed. The chin flattened out. The ears got higher. The nose went from pointy to pudge. And all of a sudden she's wearing glasses. Like she wasn't wearing glasses her whole life. And that can definitely happen. Your eyes can go pretty quickly. But the whole look changed. And again, all the facial recognition stuff says that's not the same person. That's not the same person.
Like I said, I don't know. I do not know anything about that picture or when it was taken. I don't know what. Honestly, they could say anything. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't believe that they're swapping bodies or that person that would testify wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell. And if it is, let Congress sort it out.
So your position changed from the first time you saw the image. You said, that's not the same person. That's not the same person. Then all of a sudden, it's the same person.
I'm going to say, yeah, they're both Ghislaine Maxwell. Even though, yeah, my initial response was they're not the same person. Mm-hmm. Just like I would say the person who, my cousin Donnie, is not the same person that came out of Vietnam. Donnie went into Vietnam. When he came out, totally different person. They're both named Donnie. They're both my cousin. They both came out of the same womb, out of my aunt's womb, but that's not the same Donnie.
Did they look completely different? Like,
oh yeah, the Donnie that came out of Vietnam looked really different, and he couldn't walk.
The legs may be one thing. The face completely changed. The face completely changed.
It took me a while. When I saw him, I knew he was related to me, and I thought he was one of his brothers. I did not realize it was him. I didn't realize it was the same person.
Did you think he was Mike Myers wearing a wig and glasses?
Yeah.
You did.
Come to son of a bitch. That explains a lot now. That explains why he didn't recognize me either.
So I definitely don't believe those are the same people, but I don't believe there's been a body swap or anything like that. I'm just really, I'm curious about how and why Comey would bring in a fake her to testify in front of him, and maybe just leave her in prison by himself. But there's other things where she's walking around prison hiding her face. There's videos of her, like when she's allowed to go out for walks and stuff in this minimum security prison, but she brings a parasol or something, whatever you call that, an umbrella, and puts it in front of her face, so nobody can see her face. It's like, that's weird. Why would you do that? It's not like it's unbearable sun or whatever.
I would do the same thing if I could. I wouldn't want people put plastic on my image all over the fucking place. You know, it's none of their business. Especially if they're profiting, they're making money off of my image, selling pictures, and I'm not profiting. Fuck them. I wouldn't let them see my face either. Especially if I was accused of something as heinous as pedophilia. I wouldn't be showing my face out there.
And then going there, but your face is being shown, and you're taking the fifth and saying that I will testify if Donald Trump grants me clemency. Now, why would he do that? What I mean, and only if he's guaranteed that she's not going to incriminate him or will, as he says, exonerate him.
Well, the problem is, if he does that, then she can't take the fifth anymore.
Right.
So I don't think he would be. It would be smart of him to do that.
Well, this is weird because she's already in prison. The Fifth Amendment is to protect you from incriminating yourself.'s already been incriminated and found guilty. So we're not going to find out.
But there are other charges they could add on to that if she reveals something.
All right. Couldn't they just grant her immunity for those other charges? They already got it for the next 20 years anyway. She's probably not going to live that 20 years. So
I don't know.
Couldn't they just take the fifth away by granting her immunity on that?
Possibly. But
that's
but she's still
practice, right?
But if because there is no statute of limitation on child abuse, not child abuse, on yes, when you sexually assault a child, there is no statute of limitation.
Rape and murder, there's definitely no statute of limitations.
Well, rape, the rape is, but if it's an adult, there is a statute of limitations unless it's been changed. But child, there is no. Yeah, if you rape a child, there is no statute of limitations on that. And if she did it in a state, let's say that they can still press charges on that, clemency wouldn't help her with, that a federal pardon wouldn't help her with, she could still face state charges someplace else. So, and also civil cases. You can't get protection from a civil case.
That's right.
So why would she want to put stuff out there that could really, really fuck up the rest of her life if she ever gets out?
I don't know. Well, she's saying she will only put it out there if Trump grants her clemency. She will only testify. She'll only testify. But we're just assuming that this image I'm looking at now, we're assuming that the testimony that she's offering to give would clear Trump. Or why else would he just show Mike Myers all his things now? Poor Mike Myers. Why did he get dragged into this?
It's not even Halloween.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a different Michael Myers, right? I made that mistake once. Somebody asked me if I could Photoshop Michael Myers looking out a window. And I put Mike Myers from, Yeah Baby. And he's like, no, Mike Myers from whatever horror movie is. I didn't know. I never even knew.
The guy who fixes my tractor mower and my snow thrower, his name is Mike Myers.
Does he look like anything like either one, like the scary guy or the comedian? Or no?
Oh, to me, no. But then again, I don't know. I've never seen the other two in person, so I don't know how tall they are or how heavy they are. This Mike Myers is about 6 foot, and he's biggerer. He's thick.
Biggerer. I like that.
Yeah.
Biggerer.
He's biggerer.
More bigger. More bigness of more biggie to the bigness of the biggity.
And my joints are aching like crazy.
Really, I didn't know you rolled any. I didn't see you roll any.
Yeah, my neck, my hands, my neck, my hands, my shoulder, my knees, everything.
All right, before we get off this, just let me read this. It says newly released deposition footage of Ghislaine Maxwell has ignited a firestorm online with some social media users claiming that the woman in the video isn't her. Not just some social media users, by the way, facial recognition software, plastic surgeons, all these people. Side-by-side image comparisons and viral posts have fueled wild speculation about whether Maxwell is truly behind bars and what official records confirm for her incarceration. The internet isn't convinced. Here's what sparked the blah blah blah. We've already seen that. But now some of all the comments in here, 484 comments. She's already in Israel. She is not in jail. The video is a double dub. They are fooling us all. Well, if they're not fooling you, right? Because you know more than the rest of us. This is not.
I'm not saying I know. I'm saying I believe.
No. I'm talking to the person leaving the comment, not you.
Oh.
The person who says they're fooling us, but they're not fooling her or him, whoever it is, Oliver Everest. All these people are in agreement. All these fucking comments. No, definitely not her, and definitely not her. This is not her. Probably switched out during transport to the new prison. Yeah, and see, this is the problem. They're gonna just make shit up like they know. Oh, well, this is most likely when in the transport between maximum security minutes. You don't know. You don't know any of this stuff. But I will definitely say my first reaction, your first reaction, everybody I talk to when they see those images, not the same person. All the AI things I asked, look at this image. No, not the same person. Grok thought it was Rachel Maddow. I don't know how you got that. But this shit has to end. Enough is enough. If she wasn't transferred, she was set free. What setting free? No, they would kill her, wouldn't they? I mean, logically, just think about it logically. They wouldn't just set her free because then she could potentially talk again at any moment, right? They would offer. Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Then why not kill her?
This is not Maxwell eyelids, nose proof. Yeah, everybody's just like on the same. And people want to jump on a conspiracy. Look at how many comments. All these fucking people just saying that's not her, it's not her, it's not her. So, but none of the conspiracy theories make sense. Like, if it's not her, why and how and all that stuff. We don't need this. I agree, this shit has to stop. But they should be able, like Sunshine said, this should be it's such an easy thing. Fingerprint her and prove it. Prove it. There's got to be a DNA thing.
Maybe the Congress probably had a representative there for the deposition so they can make a positive ID. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, otherwise, if you're swearing a deposition, you got to be able to prove that the person taking the deposition is that person. Otherwise, somebody could walk off the street and just say, "Yeah, I'm G.D. Fenderson. I'm here to be deposed."
Well,
so there has to be someone there.
The correctional, especially with somebody like that, even though she's in minimum security, they have to corrections department or whoever has to transfer. She just
but somebody from Congress, whoever is in charge of the hearing, somebody like her attorney,
Goober Comer, James Comer.
So, and maybe the Democrats. So maybe there's a Republican and a Democrat who are. One who represents each party says, "Okay, we've seen the fingerprints. It's her. Let's do this."
I think Sunshine's missing a line here. 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me. I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam, and we're done with that. We're done with Vietnam, and it's Nam anyway. Damn. So it would be. Don't ask me. I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. It wasn't Country Joe and the Fish, by the way. If I get a copyright strike for that, just fucking smack me.
I was looking up something, and Freddie Fender sang it, had a pretty popular song, and I can't remember the name of it. I already forgot it. I can't remember the name of it.
Wasted Days and Wasted Nights? No,
That's it. Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. I was
wow, I got it on the first try. Wow, look at me.
Yeah, I was supposed to have been writing that down. And I didn't write it down.
Why? What about Freddie Fender's song? What was the relevance there?
Oh, it won't make sense out of context. It's part of my comedy thing.
Freddie Fender had kind of a 4 or 5 year run with a couple of hits. It was country though, Mexican country guy, right? That's what he was.
Yeah, Mexican and country. Yeah.
Yeah, very. I think he did covered Marty Robbins down in the West Texas town of El Paso. I don't know. Our guest is here. Let's bring her in because my time is short.
Okay, yeah, I did write it down. Yeah, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. Okay, I wrote it down. I just haven't read over it yet.
He had another big one that is escaping my.
Yeah, he did have another one, but this is like the most popular one.
Right. Did the Country Joe and the Fish thing trigger your memory into that? The Sunshine's 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we fighting for?
I don't know what.
Tie Yellow Ribbon was not him. Tie Yellow Ribbon was
Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Tony Orlando and Dawn. Yeah.
Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Yeah. You know what? Quickly before I got it, because you made me do this. It's your fault.
I made you do it. I can't stop you from. I can't make you or stop you from doing anything.
You can. Freddie.
No, I can't, because there's some things I really would stop you from doing if I could.
No, you couldn't. You could, but you can't. But you would.
No. So there's some things I would stop you from doing if I really could. But
the one I was thinking of was Secret Love. Once I had a secret love that lived within the heart of me. You know that one? That was a big hit.
Song, but I would never sing it voluntarily.
Yeah, no, but that's a Freddie Fender hit. So here we have not a lot. Wasted Days and Wasted Nights, Secret Love, Since I Met You, Baby, Que Paso, Wild Side of Life, I Can't Stop Loving You. These are all like Ray Charles covers. Vaya con Dios, which is a Les Paul.
That's
Mary
a Ray
Ford
Charles cover because he used to sing that all the time. Ray Charles. He used to do like a medley of Georgia, and then Vaya con Dios, and then
Vaya con Dios was Les Paul and Mary Ford though, had the original hit in 1942. Rains Came, I'm Leaving It All Up to You, Soy de San Luis, Little Bit is Better Than Nada. I don't know any of these. So that's when he ran out of hit. Oh, Mendocino. Yeah, that was kind of a big hit. I don't think he had the first hit with that though. That's a cover.
Well, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights is the one I was thinking of, and I did write it down. So when I reread it, I'll remember it. Hopefully, I'll remember it. I'll remember it on Friday.
Be part of your show? Are you doing that?
It's just a throwaway line. Just a throwaway line.
I thought maybe you do a parody on.
I'm not taking my guitar out there.
All right. I'm going to try to read this with my bad glasses and bring Cinda in, okay? How about that? Cinda Swally is an author. Her debut novel, The Golden Hearts Club, transforms the experiences into vibrant, heartfelt story about a family adventure and the extraordinary kindness we can share in everyday life. Beyond the book, Cinda is encouraging individuals and businesses to create real-world acts of kindness, inspiring communities to make the world a little bit brighter. She's here now, ladies and gentlemen. Say hello to Cinda Swally. Good morning, Cinda. Thank you for being here.
Good
morning. So the book is a fictional book, right?
Correct.
Inspired by true events, as they say in Hollywood.
What?
Inspired by true events, as they say in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, the road trip you took with your sister.
The road trip I took with my sister.
Very cool.
Where was the road trip to, and how long was it?
The road trip was from Ohio, where I grew up, south to through Tennessee, down to Florida, and to the Mardi Gras because we had never been there, and then we went west through Texas and California.
How long was that road trip?
6 months.
Wow.
And we were
sounds like fun.
20. We were 20 and 22 years old. So, back then, this was a long time ago.
Last week or within the last 6 months or so,
like
right?
A year or two.
Yeah.
In the 70s, you could do that and it was safe, and we could stay at the KOAs and camp or sleep in the car if we had to. I'm not sure it would be that safe today.
Yeah, my road trip was not that long. Now is that pronounced Galleon? Gala? That's like halfway for people who aren't familiar with Ohio. That's halfway between Columbus and Lake Erie, like almost a straight shot up, right? About halfway between the two.
Exactly. How do you know this?
He's a Maryland guy.
I'm not supposed to study, but I do a little.
Well,
study.
Galleon, though, most people haven't heard of Galleon, Ohio, but yes, that's exactly right. Columbus, straight shot to Lake Erie, and we spent a lot of time there at the lake.
Oh, okay. Now, how long of a drive is that? That's a couple hours, I guess. I'm trying to.
Lake?
Yeah,
it's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, that's what it takes me an hour and a half just to go to the local convenience store from where I am. So that's true. The Golden Hearts Club, has that evolved from the book into like a real organization? It feels like I'm getting that impression. Am I wrong?
You are wrong, but
that's not first.
It was a consideration for a bit until I thought about it, and I thought, if I do that, that means I have to go back to work. I didn't really want to go back to work. I'm kind of in a retirement mode.
I feel you on that. I'm kind of allergic to work at this point in my life too.
Retired.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so I tell people that the reason I look so young is because there's a lot of preservatives in beer.
See, and that's my problem is I drink natural beer. I should drink something with preservatives.
Right.
Isn't there the same preservatives in wine? Because wineexpress.com, there's a link in the description for people who want to look young or just drink enough so that when you look in the mirror, you convince yourself that you look young.
I maintain that one of the ways we stay young looking is by forgetting the bad things from our past. And part of the way we do that is by drinking. So
true.
Right. Now, in the book, is Golden Hearts Club an actual organization where people get like AA? You get your little coin when you reach it. You get an actual golden heart for a reward for doing acts of kindness.
So, in the book, in the story, Katie, the older sister, because she grew up with her grandmother and mother telling her that by doing acts of kindness, you can change people's lives. So she decides that she's going to create a club called the Golden Hearts Club. And as they travel, when they see people doing nice things for other people, they automatically become members of the Golden Hearts Club. And Katie and her sister acknowledge it. And then it happens many times during the book, and it just became a really fun story.
Yeah. It's a great thought, but again, coming back to this idea of being retired, and I don't like to work, but if somebody can pick up on, and first of all, I think if you love doing something, it's not work then. If it can be fun and enjoyable, you just don't want to do the administration kind of nonsense and
right.
just get caught up in email.
There is a club called Good Deeds Day, and that is in April this year. I actually forget the date. I think it's the 12th. And it's a worldwide organization, Good Deeds Day. And lots and lots of people, groups of people are organizing good deeds to do for other people.
Acts of kindness and people just being nice to each other is a rare thing. So rare that I felt like compelled to comment on it when it happened to me recently, because the same store, the day after Christmas, I went to the store and I got assaulted by 3 different people. It was it was a crazy scene. And then 2 weeks ago, I went back to the same store and people were going out of their way to be nice and courteous. And I was like, what happened? What happened between the day after Christmas and 2 weeks ago? But it was so unusual to see people being courteous and just nice to me that it felt alien. Like, what's going on? What's wrong with people today? Why is everybody stoned or something? What the hell's going on here? Acts of kindness don't have to be big things. They can be just, oh, excuse me, go ahead, let me hold the door for you, that kind of thing, right? Or do they have, yeah. So I think we will pick up the mantle on that Good Deeds Day. We have to look into that.
Good Deeds Day is April 12th this year. This year's April 12th.
So the day the Titanic went down, that's a good day for a good deed.
So I was just trying to figure if it moves around, like if it's the first something after something.
Okay.
I should check that.
Tell us about writing the book. Did it, like, you just got inspired to write the book just one day, I'm going to write a book about this, or had you planned it out? Well, where did it come from?
Well, so it's a tiny bit of a long story, but I'll make it short.
You don't have to make it short. We got plenty of
time. I used to be a flight attendant. I was a air stew for Continental Airlines back in the day. And my mother and my stepfather traveled with me everywhere. We went everywhere because, you know, when you have those great benefits, you kind of need to take advantage of them. So we did. And we met the most fun people and went to some of the greatest places by the seat of our pants. I mean, we would go to Europe and we never had a reservation ever. But have you ever heard of Rick Steves? He's a travel guy. He has a program on television. He writes books. And back in those days, it was called Backroads or something like that. And so he would never take you to the center of the city where there is a Marriott. He would tell you to go to where the locals hang out. And so he would, write about a B&B in Madrid, Spain, and say, go see Paul and Jenny and tell them I sent you. And we would, and we knock on the door and they would welcome us. And so that's how we traveled, by the seat of our pants with no reservations wherever we went. Don't know if you could do that today either. But Mom said, she kept saying, you need to write a book about your experiences as a flight attendant and all the places and people we've met. And so I kind of had that under my belt, and I would sit on the jump seat or in the hotel on a layover and kind of start making notes on a yellow legal pad in handwriting. And so then I had a big stack of notes, and finally, as you know, sometimes life gets in the way of what you think your plans are going to be. And I moved and I quit my airline job and I moved to San Diego, and then I moved to Texas and got married, and then I got unmarried, and I thought, I have time. Right now, I have time to write my book. So I thought the book was going to be a story of 2 sisters who went on the road trip, because that was real. And then it was going to be a story about a flight attendant and her experiences. But
so it's fair to say the protagonist is based on you, right? Or no?
Well, sort of, since the trip started out with the 2 sisters. But yeah, I mean, after the second chapter, it is total pure fiction. The first 2 chapters kind of have a little bit of truth to them. But I found the pictures from our trip in the 70s, and we saved our money for a year for this trip and bought a red Duster, 1970, or I don't know what year it was, you know, with bench seats, luckily, because we had to sleep in the car a few times.
Yeah.
And a neighbor donated a big red luggage box, and we painted it red to match the car. So, you know, we look like the Clampetts traveling across the country. but that's what made it fun. And when I found the pictures from the trip, at some point some things didn't make it into the book, like the transmission went out of the car in the middle of the desert.
Ooh.
And we had to hitchhike, and I was pretty sure we were going to get murdered by a truck driver. But of course, he was the nicest guy and took us to a gas station, and that didn't make the cut, though.
The nicest guy. Let me see.
Well, he didn't kill us.
There's somebody in our chat room. I don't know if you see it. Yeah, the nicest guy. Here he is. Nicest
But he's
guy.
nicest guy too.
Oh, nicest guy too. He was born after this story.
Yeah. Maybe a son. Maybe like Junior. That's nicest guy Junior.
Or grandson. Yeah.
The second.
Bench seats. That's you know, I forgot that those were ever a thing.
I know.
Like in cars.
I'm so glad that they did make them back then, because we had to sleep in the car a few times when it was too windy or too rainy to set up the tent. So anyway, I found those pictures, and there was a picture of our red car with the big red box on it in front of this dilapidated motel in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, where we stopped because I got really sick, probably because I jumped in a pool that was really cold. And we stopped there, and it was a youth hostel. Remember back in the day, there were youth hostels, and you could stay there for whatever, $10 a night if you did a chore or made the beds or cleaned the bathroom. And an elderly American Indian woman came out and greeted us, and she saw that I was sick, and she said, "Yeah, you can stay. There's a room there." And we were there for 2 nights, I think, because I had such a fever and I was so sick. Well, I looked at that picture for the longest time, and I thought, there's a story there. Why was that American Indian woman there by herself? And the whole story just flew from there. They fall in love with her. She takes care of Katie like she's her own daughter. They find out that the reason she's there alone is because she lost both of her daughters and her husband in a fire years before. And Katie decides that she's going to change her life, and she is going to come back to Arizona and help Rose find a new home so she'll have a family again. And so then as they go on the trip, then they meet other people, and in the end, she does accomplish that, and her decision to help this stranger changes lots of people's lives.
Did you ever have any issues with or struggles with just keeping it fictional and not just like, this is the way I remember, because it's based on something that really happened for you? Keeping the reality separate from the fiction and writing it as pure fiction, was that ever a struggle?
It was never a struggle, because the first 2 chapters, as I said, are kind of mostly true, because that was our trip and we went to those places. But when I got to chapter 3, I went, okay, I'm not a writer. I can't do this. I don't know how to write. Where's it going to go next? Then I found those pictures, and Rose became the story. And
there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it was the rest of the fiction part, I think, might be easier to write than the real, because you know, your mind just goes somewhere and the story takes you. It took me. Sometimes many times I would turn off my computer late at night and go, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm not a writer. I don't know how to write. Where's it going? I'm on chapter 2 and I don't know where the book is going. And I would go to bed, and I think because I was so embedded in the story, I woke up the next morning and I ran to the computer because I knew what needed to happen next. And that happened often.
Not for me. And I'm glad you're sharing this because I think I need to hear this stuff. Yesterday, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn. Hey, Matt, you've got some really cool stories. Have you ever considered writing a book? I said, I'm writing 2 books for 7 or 8 years now, and neither one of them are getting finished. She said, what's holding you back? I said, I don't, short attention span. I can write a blog. I can write 2 or 3 pages. Once I get that far in, then I get stuck and I feel like this isn't for me. I'm not a long form writer. And she was offering services, and now all of a sudden now I can buy her services that will help me get through those blocks. So you never experience, well, you did experience that at the I'm done feeling, but then the inspiration just hit you again the next day and can go further on that. I mean,
yeah. Or sometimes I wouldn't know where this scene needed to go. I had no clue where it needed to go. So, but I knew what was going to happen next. Like, you know, a couple days down the line, I knew they were going to end up on a horse ranch in California. I knew this. So that's about the only thing I knew. And so I would skip ahead. I would just hit the B key, B, 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 B. So it was a misspelled red word, which meant you stopped here, got no place to go, skip ahead. And I would skip ahead then to something that I knew was going to happen. And it might just be a short sentence like they're going to end up on a horse ranch in California. And then I might skip ahead again and say, okay, they're going to meet 2 brothers who live on that horse ranch. So
that's helpful advice. I might, and if there are other people who are writing and experiencing that's definitely something to try. Is because I always feel like it's just a sentence hanging out in there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I has to have some kind of continuity to it. How am I going to go from that where I left off to make it tie into that sentence? It seems a little daunting and fearful, to be honest.
It's like a puzzle. Then once you get the pieces all there, they might not fit right, but then you start moving the pieces around until they do fit. And it took me 5 years.
Now, how did you know that you were actually finished? Because as a creative, and you know, I can start working a project, and a week or 2 away from it, go, you know,
was it the words the end that gave it away? Where you wrote the end and you said,
and I can make this funnier. I can make this more, you know. And at some point, we go like, okay, this is it. I'm done. They have done everything. I've corrected everything. She's got the right color nails. I don't have to change that. The shoes,
I run into that same thing, knowing when a piece is actually finished. Did you run into that at all?
Yes, I did. I knew how it had to end, but I didn't know how to get there. And, you know, 5 years into it, or 4 years or whatever, my sister's like, how can you still be working on that? And I said, because there's something missing. And so what the bottom line of when I thought I was finished was I didn't want it to just be a book or an adventure story. And it is a love story in the end. But you know, romance novels and contemporary fiction are a dime a dozen. There's, you know, millions of books out there. And I thought, I want it to have a message. I want it to be more than just a story. I want it to leave something with the people that read it. And then when I went back and read it again, I realized that all of those pieces were already there. People were doing nice things for them, or they met a kid that was giving puppies away. And so I just went back and refined that, and then I changed the name of it to
Where's
the
this
Golden
kid? I
Heart.
need a puppy. I need a puppy. I want to find this kid who's giving, because I was shopping for puppies yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, because my stepdaughter's dog went to his maker yesterday, and I thought, well,
in New York.
I had talked to a dog breeder a while back who wanted me to do some work for him. He said the best time to get a puppy is right away, like right away. And I was like, there's some controversy about that. Like, are you just replacing that dog? But no, for your own heart and all this stuff. So I went on and looking for golden retriever puppies, and they started $2,700. I was like, really? I want a puppy. I don't want an investment.
Right.
Yeah, that's when you go to, that's when you adopt one. That's when you go find a dog that needs a home and love.
Don't think I didn't
so
look
many
into
of them.
local shelters to see if they had golden retriever puppies yesterday. After that, like, wow, 2,700 is because it's going to cost me like another 500 to get the shots and then the vet inspector. It's like crazy, man. But not to detract too much from this stuff. But so yeah, the idea now. I'm going to have to pop out here in a minute because I'm going to go do an act of kindness for some old folks. I'm going to go do a show, and GD will finish the interview. But I'm curious now because you talked about wanting to be retired and not really wanting to work anymore. But first of all, what's the writing of the book? You say 5 years. It sounds like work. And your sister said, well, are you still working on this? Was it work or was it fun? Was it an enjoyable process?
It was a very enjoyable process. It was, I didn't really consider it work. It was enjoyable, but sometimes it was frustrating because I wouldn't know where to go, or the reason it took me so long is because I had to buy books to show me how to write, and sentence structure, and the things that you forgot when you were in school. I thought imperative construction meant that somebody was in a hurry to build a house. But so I had to read a lot, and dialogue within a book is another different animal too, with its own structure, with grammar and and it's just a whole different animal, and you have to get the punctuation correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So then after you've done with your manuscript, now that's when the real work begins, though. That's when it becomes you're a business person now. You got to get a website, you got to get it published, whether you're self-publishing or you're getting somebody else to publish the book for you. That's part of the work too, right? That
was a very big deal. Creating a website, finding somebody to create it for me, paying for it. And so it some of it was work, some of it was fun. I mean, when you're typing on a page and you see the letters scrolling by when you're typing, well, I would go to bed at night and I couldn't sleep because I couldn't get that scrolling it all night long. There was just letters scrolling, and I'm like putting the pillow over my head going, stop, I just want to go to sleep.
And see, that's kind of sweet that you can actually do that. See, because I can't when I'm typing, I can't look at the screen. I gotta look at the keyboard, and then I look up to see what I've done and go, okay,
what mistakes you made.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. That's not right. Yeah.
I am falling in love with this dictation stuff right now because this is how I type.
I'm twice as fast.
Slow.
I got you. Yeah. I'm twice as fast as him. I got 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
So the dictation stuff is like a blessing to me. I got thank you God. It took 66 years to get here, but now I can actually write. But still get caught up. But so now, because what I'm leading to here is now it becomes work. Are you inspired to still continue being an author? Are you to write more, or has the process after you're done writing the book killed your spirit for writing more, for your inspiration for writing more and more authors?
No, I think I've got an idea under my belt. Kind of a little bit of a mystery. And I'm kind of playing with that. And I might even look at some children's books.
Yeah. Kids' books are a very within the publishing industry a hot market item. They're people publishing kids' books all the time.
Right.
I think they sell very well.
I'm working on a kid's book called Dirty Jokes for Kids, and it's nice to see them.
Isn't that a Jackie Martling thing? Are we back?
No,
there
I'm taking a lot of Jackie Martling's dirty jokes and I'm making them for kids. So like I'm replacing the hooker with SpongeBob, So yeah, the prostitute is Dora the Explorer. So all the dirty jokes, I'm just replacing them with cartoon for kids. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't want to make this about me. Go ahead.
So it's like a Hudsucker Proxy kid book. Yeah.
Yes, it's a Hudsucker Proxy dirty joke book for kids.
For kids.
That's funny.
I forgot what I was going to ask. But I had the genre for this book, because it feels like genres are important, especially in publishing, like where you put it in the marketplace. Is it a self-help book? It's not a romance novel, even though there's a love story to it, right? It's not a romance. What's the genre for?
Yeah, so that might be that. It's a little bit of a problem because you're right. You need to name your genre, especially in like contemporary fiction, and so I think mine just has to be called contemporary fiction because it's an adventure story with the two sisters on a road trip. But then when they get to California, it's a family saga with this wealthy family in California on this gorgeous horse ranch. And then it's kind of a romance because the girls fall in love with the brothers. And so it's like a combination: adventure, romance, family saga. It's more of a family saga probably than anything.
Yeah. That's in business, and I found this out a long time ago, but I don't learn the lesson and actually apply it, is being able to give people a good idea of what your offer is the most important thing, and being in a niche or giving a genre and giving them some clue, because this show, we're all over the map. We have authors, we have comedians, we have musicians, magicians, filmmakers, and
we're number one in Latin hymns. No,
and number 3, I think, in Latin.
Number
hymns.
1, number 3 in Latin hymns.
What was the other weird thing that not the science stuff? We were in another category.
Yeah. I don't
but
remember,
so all that works against us as far as the marketplace. Has that been a frustration for you, not being able to put a solid label on what exactly the story is?
No, because it was my first, so I have an excuse, right? But I don't know this. I don't think the story could have gone the way it went if I said it was a romance. Then there was a lot of other family drama going in. I probably could have just called it a family saga, because within a family saga, you can fall in love, right?
Right.
You can fall in love anywhere. So, yeah, I think it makes it a little bit difficult if you have to name your genre, because can you not travel outside of that a little bit?
Unfortunately, people in the music industry used to put it to me this way: people want a McDonald's hamburger. They want to know exactly what they're getting every time, and they don't want you to change. So once you establish yourself as the person who makes McDonald's hamburgers, you have to make the same hamburger 3 billion times. Not and that's why a lot of authors, they get pigeonholed into just writing one kind of whether it's legal thrillers or romance novels, whatever it is, they're expected to write that all the time. And if you veer away from that, you lose part of your audience. I never related to that. When I, especially starting out in music, I had too many influences that I wanted to write like or was influenced by that I just had no interest in. But that works against you in the business world, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah. So so this part of it, you're self-published, right?
Correct.
All right. Let me. I do this a lot, and GD's heard it probably 1,000 times already. But one of the things, in case you pursue this and do it again, one of the cheats that, and the system is rigged. The algorithms are rigged within the self-publishing world. That I found out from marketing, working with a marketing company, what they do is they put a book out as put it free in something like Home and Garden, something where nobody's going to find this book. Put it for free. You tell all your friends and family and neighbors and to go there, download it for free, and leave a good review. They do that, and then they become a verified purchaser because they paid nothing for it. These are not your actual customers. And then once you have 20, 30, 100 of those, whatever it is, and good reviews, then you put a price on it and you put it in the actual genre where it comes
Wow.
from. And that the algorithm then automatically pushes you up to the front row when people come to look in
Right.
that genre, they find your book first.
Right.
If that makes
So I
any
have
sense.
over 100 wonderful, I think most of them are verified on Amazon reviews, and the book won 6, 7 book awards too.
Cool.
So
Congratulations. It's
yeah, thank
you must
you.
be very proud of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
First
thanks.
time out, that's got to be very rewarding, right?
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, I am going to have to step out. Unfortunately, I have to go do a act of kindness. Do I get a golden heart for this?
Yes, I'll send you a coin.
His heart. Don't send him anything for his heart because it's not going to be around that much longer. It'll just ruin it.
What do you mean? Have you heard something I don't? Is today the day they're taking me to?
I'm just saying, you sounded a little raspy earlier today. I thought I heard
Yeah.
I thought I heard a death rattle. I'm not certain.
No. Could be. I guess I can't talk my way out of it. I'm not ready yet. All right. Cindy, it's been a pleasure to meet you. GD will take it from here. Thank you very much for
You're welcome.
your time today.
If people want to look the book up on my website, cindaswally.com, it kind of tells a little bit about the story of the sisters and the road trip and how the story came about. So there's some.
It's scrolling across the bottom here, and there's a link in the description. I really have to run.
Okay.
GD, take it away.
Thank you.
Right. Now, one of the first questions I'll ask you now that Matt's gone. Oh my God! Thank God he's gone. Oh, he was really ruining the show. You would not believe what I have to put up with every single day. No. So, who was the first person that you showed your finished product to that you knew as not like the editor, but like the first person that you had a relationship with that read your book, and what was your reaction while you were waiting for them to read it? What was it like?
So, of course, everyone knew I was writing it for so many years. They had no clue that I actually created the cover and had it published. So I had a dinner party here for some reason, somebody's birthday, or I don't know what it was. And I think I said, here, pick a name out of this basket. And it was all the people that were here. And
Right.
So they picked a name out, or it was the birthday person, I don't know, but it was in a gift bag, and
Right.
she pulled it out. Ta-da-da. And it was the first time any of them knew that I actually had the book published, and they all just went up in arms and screamed, and oh my gosh, I can't believe it. They were very excited.
So who was the first one to actually read it, and what was it like for you to wait for their reaction to it?
I think the first person to read it was Karen, my friend Karen, and she called me and she said, there's tears running down my eyes because it was such a good story and I didn't want it to end.
Now, forgive me if I get this wrong, but I'm trying to think on your website. I think you pay tribute to. I think it's your mom. You said something about she hung the moon. I'm looking for that statement now. Of course, I can't find it because I'm looking for it.
It's on the first dedication page, like right in the front of the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it says your mother hung the moon. Now, I'm trying to think dedicated to my mother, Beverly, who hung the moon. There it is. Okay. Now, is she still around? Now, the memory of your father. Your father passed away before you wrote the book? Before you finished the book?
Yes, more than 20 years ago.
Now, how should I put it? Because since he's passed, do you think about how he would have received the book? Not just proud that it was his daughter doing it, but because what was he like?
Dad, Clark, he would have loved it. He would have been so proud. And the story is just such a nice story. And he would relate because, the two girls are very relatable to be his girls because he was around when we went on that trip, of course.
Right.
So, yes, he would have loved it.
Now, what about your mom?
So that might be something you don't want to ask me about. I'm
sorry. Okay, I won't go there. Okay, sorry. Now your sister is there's a 2 year difference between you and your sister?
In the book, 2 years. In real life, 4 years.
Okay. Now who's the older?
I am the older.
Okay. Now the first since the first two chapters were pretty much off the road trip, did she read the book and go, I remember the trip a little differently, or does
She did. She said, what happened to the transmission went out of the car? I said, it was too complicated. We needed to move on to our next spot to get to where I needed to be in the book. And otherwise, I could have made the whole book just about the road trip. Right. There was enough stuff. We met people in New Orleans that we had never met before, and someone took us up in an airplane ride. And we went across the border in Texas and went to Juarez and went shopping and drank margaritas. And and then when we were in El Paso, after we had to get jobs because the transmission went out of the car.
Right. Yeah.
And so, we weren't going to call home and ask for money because they probably would have said, no, you just come home, leave the car there and come home. So we got jobs as waitresses so we could pay for the new transmission or the old transmission. I think they put it in a
rebuilt one, probably a rebuilt one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when the truck driver picked us up, we were in the middle of the desert, like in Yuma or.
Okay, I was going to ask you which desert, if you remember.
It was outside El Paso, so somewhere within 2 or 3 hours outside of El Paso, headed west.
Right.
So I don't know where it was, but it was in the middle of nowhere. And, we had that big red box on the top of the car. It had everything, all of our tent and camping, and the car was full of our suitcases with clothes. And we had to leave the car.
Right. Yeah.
And Mitzi said, well, we'll just hitchhike. And I said, okay, well, we're probably going to get murdered. But so I took a legal.
Her screen froze up for a little bit.
So that if we never showed up again, at least the cops would know where to look. And she, she just rolled her eyes at me often at how ridiculous I thought we were going to get murdered. So the guy picked us up, took us, I bet we drove at least a half an hour to even come close to a town anywhere out in the desert.
Right.
And we go to this gas station, and my sister could sell ice to the Eskimos. And she said, what can we do? And they said, well, we can't go get the car and tow it because we have to be here at the station. And it was actually a gas station too.
Right.
She said, if you go get the car, we'll pump the gas while you're gone. And we did. I don't know I don't think we got any tips. But so yeah, there was a lot of experiences in there with broken down cars, and so we went back to El Paso, right, because it was the closest place to go while we were waiting for them to fix the car and where we could get jobs to pay for the transmission, and finally got the car back and headed on our way from there. But here's something interesting that I find interesting, even though it was my own life. In the book, I write about, and early in the book, I write about destiny. Katie believes in destiny, that things are prearranged for us in the stars, and you're going to end up where you end up, maybe because you were supposed to. And right. Megan, her sister, doesn't believe that at all. She thinks you have to make your own way. Well, coincidentally, and I don't know how this, I probably was sleeping one night and dreaming about destiny, and I looked back on my life and I went, oh my gosh. So when I graduated from high school, I applied with the airlines. I wanted to be a flight attendant. I don't know why. I had never even been on an airplane. But I wanted to fly. And so I applied to the airlines. Well, there was gas shortages going on at this
in the 70s, yes.
Yep, in the 70s. And so they weren't hiring. And my dad said, you're going to college, so you better figure out where you're going. He didn't like my boyfriend, of course. What dad likes their daughter's boyfriend? But so I did.
This is bad with moms and their sons' girlfriends.
Of course, yes, it is. It might be worse for moms and their sons. So I went to college, Columbus Business University, and my sister came down to Columbus, and she was working and I was working. And one night we're drinking beers probably together, and she said, and she was adventurous, 4 years younger than me, but she was adventurous. She had been to Europe with a couple of her friends, and she had gone to California by herself, and she just was fun loving, and she would do anything. And I was, like little Miss Goody Two Shoes, and, I'd paint my fingernails and do my homework and go to bed early like I was supposed to. And she said, let's go on a road trip. Were you going to just stay here and work in an office and marry your boyfriend? And it never occurred to me to go on an adventure. I really believe that unless you have somebody in your life telling you that you can do anything you want to do, go, fly. Yeah. What do you want to do? Escape from this small town. That you kind of, life just takes people where it takes them. They have a boyfriend, they're 20 years old, they get pregnant, they get married, and there you are in Galion, Ohio. Not that there's anything wrong with Galion, Ohio, but it's a small town.
Yeah, yeah.
And so my mother was the opposite. She was like, go, escape, fly, go do adventurous things.
Right.
And so coincidentally, when we're in El Paso, forced to stop and get jobs, I was introduced to a man. His name was Ray Esperson, who worked for Continental Airlines.
Right.
And everybody that we told about our travel stories, of course, just loved that we were traveling by the seat of our pants and we were going wherever we wanted to go. And if we had to stop to pay for a transmission, we did. And we made the best of it. Well, I told him that I had applied for the airlines, and he said, "You still interested in flying?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he said, this was in April. He said, "Come back in September. I will get you an interview. We are hiring flight attendants."
Cool.
Okay, now, if that's not destiny, how was that possible? Our transmission went out of the car. We went to El Paso, Texas. We were not even planning to stop in El Paso, Texas. And I meet a man who offers me an interview for the job that I wanted.
But couldn't you get that without messing up your car? No, I mean, really, because the car was heading in that direction anyway. Did the car have to break down for you to meet him?
I have to shut my door. Somebody's blowing their lawn.
Oh, okay.
It's so nice out. I have the doors opened.
Where are you?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, okay.
North of Houston, the Woodlands.
All right. Yeah, I've been in Texas a few times.
Where are you?
Well, I'm in Maryland. Yeah.
It's still cold up there.
Yeah, but see, right now it feels like a heat wave. It's 37 degrees. That feels like a heat wave because we went through like 2 weeks of 9 degrees and 12 degrees. And
I know my brothers still live in Ohio, and they're telling me how absolutely freezing it was.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was.
You had major snow up there too.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we hit. I think we had a couple of days of 40-degree temperature, and most of the snow is gone now, which means we had something like flooding.
Heat wave.
Yeah, 40 degrees is a heat wave. I was outside with a t-shirt going, yeah, I can do. Yeah, this is nice. My wife goes, it's still 40 degrees out. So, yeah, I know, but compared to the 12, because I have a routine every morning. I feed the birds, I feed the squirrels, I feed the raccoons and possums at night. And so I bring their bowls in so I can wash them and put them out again.
Nice. You feed the raccoons?
Yeah. It's not as I'm a very selfish person. I know that animals that are scavengers are going to go through my trash, no matter what and if I don't put the food in the trash, there's no reason for them to go in the trash to get the food. So it's extra work for me, because my wife is like, I'll set this on the counter because I know you want to give it to the raccoons. And she looks at it like I care about the raccoons. It's like, I don't feel like cleaning up the trash when they get hungry and desperate for food because they're scavengers. They don't want to work that hard.
Right.
So that's why I do it.
I might think that if you quit feeding them and secured your trash somehow, that maybe they wouldn't come.
Well, they're
not exactly friendly creatures.
Oh, well, raccoons are friendly.
Well, when you feed them.
Well, I say because before I was feeding them, apparently they're very good at identifying faces. And so if you are mean to them, they'll remember that face. And if you're kind to them, they remember the face. And I was like ambivalent. I wasn't, I'm not mean to anything or anybody except for other comedians. But I love nature. I'm not big on people. I love nature. And I like the bird feeders. I put them up for my wife so when she's working at home, she could look outside the window of the office and have something to look at other than paperwork.
Right. That's a great idea.
And so the raccoons are coming to eat from the bird feeders and stuff. And the same with the deer.
And the squirrels.
Yes. But and I had a small can of not even a can of cat food. The can was empty. There was just a little bit of gravy in there. They went through my trash can to find that one little can to lick the gravy out, but they tore all the trash. And
Yeah.
so I thought to myself, there's no such thing as too small of amount of food.
Right.
So I just throw it all out for them. Now this is going to sound kind of strange, but when you were on you were on the road for like 6 months.
On where?
You were on the road for like 6 months on your road trip?
Yes.
Okay. And you had a boyfriend back home when you left?
Sort of.
Because my question is, once you started seeing the world, and not even the whole world, but once you see different people in the country and you go back, you're kind of like not the same person because you've seen things with different eyes.
Absolutely.
So how different was your town to you when you got back to Galion?
Well, so I kind of had a boyfriend, but he was leaving for a new job in Colorado.
Did he get a stewardess job too?
What?
Did he get a stewardess job too?
No.
No.
And he wanted me to go with him.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not going with you. I'm going to go on this trip with my sister. Mitzi is her name. And he was not very happy with me because, I think he wanted me to be his wife and go be with him. And I wasn't ready because I was finally going on an adventure.
Right. Yeah.
So when I got back, he wasn't there because he had already moved to Denver. And we weren't there for very long. I went home and I said, I'm moving to El Paso because I'm going to go to work for the airlines. And we packed the car up again. At this point, it was no longer a red Duster. It was a blue Impala, because after we got the transmission fixed, I wasn't in the car. Mitzi was in the car, and it was early evening, not late, I think, 9 or 10 o'clock. And someone driving decided that they should go through the light and hit our car from the rear end, and it totaled the car. It wasn't, no one got hurt, but because of the way a car can get bent in its, underneath whatever, it totaled the car. And we're traveling. Of course, we didn't have the title of the Duster with us. Right. So it was a real hassle trying to get in touch with an insurance company and get a title to the car so we could go get a new car. And we didn't really have an address. So where were they going to send the check? It was kind of a big deal.
Right.
So we ended up with a blue Impala, and that red box came down and we painted it blue. So when we drove back into Galion, we drove into Galion with a blue car with a blue box on top of it. It was funny, but we didn't stay long because I had to be back in September for the interviews.
Right.
And back then there were no cell phones. No cell phones, no nothing. So to try to get a hold of somebody, you had to do it from a landline and, hope that whoever you were trying to talk to might actually be there.
Right. At some point, we didn't even have answering machines until I can't remember when we actually got answering machines.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I got back and I said, I'm moving to El Paso. I'm going to go to work for the airlines, even though I hadn't even interviewed yet. So if I hadn't gotten the job, I don't know where I would be, where I would have gone. I probably would have gone with my sister to Phoenix or whatever. But so when I got back to El Paso, Ray Esperson, which I have tried to find him, and I can't find him to say, thank you. You changed my life. Can't find him, but he I met with him and he said, the interviews are going to be on this day. Here's where you show up. We did the interviews at the Hilton by the airport, and it was a group interview with, I don't know, 25 or 30 people, mostly women at that point.
Right.
And I was so nervous that my skirt was shaking. And they just went around the room and said, stand up and tell us why you want to be a flight attendant. And, you know, everybody, of course, stood up and said, I just love people and I love to travel. And I stood up and I said, I just got back from a 6-month road trip with my sister and I moved here so that I could get this job. And so I sort of put them at a position where, wow, this girl moved here for this job. We kind of have to give
Ray told me.
Ray told me you would hire me. So then Ray called me. So I did the interview. I got the job, but they didn't know when they were going to start classes. And I didn't know. I don't think anybody knew at the time, but the reason they were having classes was because they were anticipating a strike.
Oh.
And I think it was going to be a flight attendant strike. So
you were being hired to be a scab.
I was one, for sure.
Oh, okay.
I was, because I was brand new. So Ray called me and he said, I have bad news. You know, you have the job, but the classes are not going to start until the end of December.
Wow. What did you do for money till then?
I didn't have a car. I had no car, no job. I got an apartment and I had to walk to the bus stop to take a bus downtown El Paso. And I worked at a legal office answering phones and whatever. And, I really wasn't having a good time because, you know, I was answering the phones and I would transfer the phones to the lawyers' offices and they weren't there. So every time the phone rang, I had to get up from my desk and go find them. And so Ray called me one day and he said, how's your job? And I said, I don't like it at all. He said, okay, good, because you have to be in LA next Monday. Classes are starting. And I was like, how do I do that? I mean, how do I get there? And he said, I'm going to get you a pass. You will just go to the airport with your pass, get on the flight. I'm going to tell you which flight it is. That you will stay at a hotel for 6 weeks and go through the training. Do you have enough money to pay your rent while you're gone? And I didn't. And he said, let me know if you can't come up with it. I'll loan it to you. And I called Mom, and I think she didn't have the money either, but I think she took a loan on a credit card or something. And so I paid my rent. I went to LA. Flight attendant training was not that much fun. They were I think they kind of got it wrong because they were pretending that we were in the Army or the Navy. And, you know, they were like, on day 1, hour 1, this guy stood up and he said, you came to us. We didn't come to you. You all are here because you want to be here. And if we're going to have a test every day, and if you fail the test, you're gone. And I mean, the very first day, they gave us a list of all the airport codes.
Right.
I had never flown before. And there was a lot of airport codes. We had to know them by the next day. And the next day came and there'd be a couple empty seats because somebody didn't pass the test. And I mean, middle of the night, midnight, meeting at some swimming pool to do evacuation drills and get into the swimming pool with our clothes on to put together blow up the rafts. And you had to know every item that was inside that emergency kit on the raft.
Right.
You know, the emergency kit that Tom Hanks didn't have when he went to Castaway?
Yeah.
He wished he had had that. Anyway, it was a long 6 weeks. And in addition, you don't know until the final day of graduation where they're going to put you. They might need flight attendants in LA. They might need them in Houston.
Right.
You have to go where they put you. Luckily, I was, on the bottom of the totem pole. So they placed me in El Paso, and that was a good thing because that's where my apartment was. So it was good that I got based there. Then my life just took off in a different direction because now I was a flight attendant, and that's a whirlwind experience too.
So is that going to be the next book? No, I'm just teasing.
I don't think so. I don't know if it would be interesting enough unless, I could make her into somebody who got involved with wealthy guys who were leading her in the wrong direction or giving her advice about investments or, so she ends up being really rich because she's hanging out with these guys who are, paying for her body or whatever. So I don't think I'm going to do that.
Now, did any of the people that you met on your road trip make it into your book as a character? Because like you mentioned that you said the first time you flew, that was the first time you'd been on a plane flying was on part of that road trip, right? Was that because you hadn't flown before that?
I never flew until my first trip to LA when I went to training.
I thought you had like a little small plane trip while you were doing your excursion.
Well, yes. So yes, when we were in New Orleans, someone took us up in a little plane for a little plane ride. Yeah.
Right. So that was the first time you flew.
Yes.
Right. So like that pilot would kind of like the first person that flew in a plane that I flew in a plane with, that was like a really big deal for me. And so did that pilot become like part of another character in your book or something? Or did anybody leave a big enough impression to become part of your book?
The only person that became part of the book was Rose, the Indian woman that we met at that hotel when I was sick. And she became the heart of the story. Totally by accident, because I was staring at that picture and we had met her, but we never had a conversation with her. But in the book, they had conversations with her and she helped Katie get well, and they fell in love with her and then found out her story, her tragic story, and decided they wanted to help her get a different life. So interesting.
Now, so did you make any permanent friends from the trip? Because back then when you did this, it wasn't like now you meet somebody who says, "Oh yeah, give me your digits." Yeah. And then we'll keep track on Facebook. I mean, back then you had to make efforts. You had to like probably write it down on a piece of paper, maybe an address, maybe become pen pals.
Right.
Because I'd taken a few trips and I had pen pals for a while.
Right.
I am not friends with any of the people that I was a pen pal with back in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s.
Right.
I was just curious.
I don't think so because so when we started planning this trip, and I said we saved our money for a year. We knew we were going on this trip in February. And everyone during that year, we told everybody, we're going on a trip. Here's where we're going. And they said, oh, you have to go see my brother. He lives in Tennessee. You have to go see my sister. Yeah. She lives in. And so we had a tiny little address book with all these people's names and phone numbers. And most of them we had never met before, and we knocked on their door and said, "We're Cinda and Mitzi Swally, and your brother lives in Galleon or wherever," and he said we should come and see you. "Oh, we thought you were going to come," and they would invite us in and feed us dinner, and sometimes we slept on their couches or their living room floors, or so we met a lot of people that were, that were somebody else's relatives or friends.
Right.
I don't think we stayed, and we stopped to see people we knew. We stopped in San Diego and saw our friends, and it was pretty much a whirlwind. Sometimes we weren't there for very long, and then we would just head off. We honestly, we probably would not have returned in that 6-month period of time. And I'm sure our parents were worried about us, but we would have to stop at a payphone, or sometimes when we were at people's houses, we said, "Can we just borrow your phone for a minute so we can call home and tell them we're alive?" I don't think we would have gone, because our plan was to go straight west and go to San Diego and then up the coast. And then we were going to go up to like Seattle and cut across, coming home again, Wyoming and Montana and wherever. Well, I was going to be in my friend's wedding. And so we had to go back in August, or I don't think we would have come back. I think we would have gotten jobs again and carried on, because we hadn't finished the trip yet. Right. But then I got the job offer, so that changed everything.
I know when I was on my trip, I was 17, and my mom and I had worked this thing out where so I could check in. I would call every day, collect, but I would ask for myself. That way my mother would know I was okay. So,
that's a good idea.
I'd call collect, and it goes, hello, this collect call from Glenn Fenderson from Dwayne, because I would ask for myself using my middle name, and said, collect call for Dwayne from Glenn Fenderson, and my mother said, Dwayne's not here. Can you leave a message? I said, yeah, tell Dwayne that Glenn is fine. We're in the Grand Canyon, and everything is fine. And that's how we communicated. And until and then when I actually needed to talk to her, then I'd ask for my actual mother. But that's how we did it. We just had these fake collect calls.
That's awesome.
I would just leave a message.
I love it.
Now, what's of the places that you went, what's the one place that's like so beautiful that you would love to go back again?
I loved San Diego, and I have to say, loved.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Now, when you were there in the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to Black Beach?
When we went to visit, that was the late 70s. Yeah. Did
you go to Black Beach?
I don't think so.
Is that a naked beach? Yes. That's the what they call the swimsuit optional beach.
I think I knew where it was, but I don't think I ever went there. I would be too shy to do that.
Yeah, well, it's called swimsuit optional. There were people there with bathing suits, but most of the people were nude. And the funny thing is, there was a Marine base not too far from Black Beach, and every morning they would jog. That was part of their routine. Their training was to jog past the naked ladies on the.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah, every day. That was funny. Their thing. Yeah, I was there. What's that? Well, it was in the 70s when I was in San Diego. That was the only time I've ever been in San Diego. But everybody said you have to go to Black Beach, and it was getting smaller and smaller. By the time I was there, it was like a quarter mile of beach, of swimsuit optional.
So, because they started.
Yeah. Yeah, because basically to make it a swimsuit optional beach, you have to like close it off to the rest of the public, so to speak. I guess.
Right.
and it was really difficult to get to. It was a cliff that you had to like walk down the.
I remember that. I think somebody showed it to me. I don't know if I ever went there.
Yeah, so you're right. I love San Diego. I was there. I was at the University of San Diego. I was using their shower after we left the beach. We went there to use their shower, and I met this one young lady there who was so beautiful. I said, I'm coming back to San Diego to go to college here because this is what the women look like. I've got to marry one of them. And I never went back to San Diego. I never went back. But,
well, so I ended up living in San Diego.
Okay.
After I flew for 8 years. I was there during the bankruptcy and the merger with Texas International. It was not good times at all. Frank Lorenzo, I think, was the president at the time, and his goal, I think, in life was to bankrupt the company, and he did.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty bad times, but so I had been there for 8 years, and that bankruptcy ruined people's lives. I mean, it was horrible. People got divorced, they lost their jobs, they lost their houses. I think there were a couple people who committed suicide. It was a really bad thing. And they cut our salaries. Once you're bankrupt, they do whatever. We used to have a pretty thick book of what the regulations were and what our contract said. And, there were unions and all of that, which, whatever, they were there to protect us, I guess, but I'm not sure that unions are that helpful these days. But, so I couldn't even make my house payment because they cut our salary so substantially that I had to go get a couple other jobs. So I worked in a clothing store part-time, and I worked downtown at the clothing, the big, I forget what they call it now, the where all of the merchandisers come into the big once a year, twice a year, and they purchase their items from, the merchandisers at the mart.
All right.
I worked there part-time, and 3 years went by. I mean, it was so terrible that, the Texas International flight attendants had a different uniform than us, and they hated us because the court said, it had nothing to do with us. It wasn't our fault.
Right.
The court said the way we're going to merge the list of flight attendants is 7 Continentals to 1, 7 to 1, 7 to 1, because our company was so much bigger and we had so much more seniority that's just what the court decided. And the Texas International people hated us because they got less seniority, but they had less seniority to start with. And they flew tiny little 45-minute flights, and we flew, to Chicago and Miami. And anyway, it was a rough time. And then the pilots went on strike, and they wanted they wanted the flight attendants to support them. We had just gotten back to work. Some of us had house payments, and, it was just like you kind of see in the movies. If you're not going to support us, then I'm not going to be your friend.
Right.
It's sort of like politics today. It's ridiculous. And so people lost friendships because I said, I don't care if you're going on strike. I have a house payment and I'm crossing the picket line. So like you said, I was a scab, one of the many. People lost friends over it because, you know, we weren't supporting, but we just got back to work.
Now the show's about to wrap up soon, but a couple of things I want to remind people while we're here. We're trying to sell The Golden Hearts Club by Cinder Swally. Now, if you're in a town where you have a local library, please go to the library and ask them to order the book for the library. The Golden Hearts Club by Cindy K. Swally. Now, you'd mentioned to Matt about giving him a golden coin.
If you give me your address, I'll send you a coin. It's a Golden Hearts membership coin. I'll show you what it looks like. It's in the well, this doesn't show it very well, but see that?
Yeah.
So it's gold, and it says the Golden Hearts Club. And whenever I travel around, I give it to people.
So how do the masses? How do they get how do they earn one? The masses.
Well, it's pretty much you have to call me if you want a coin. But, you know, basically you become a member of the Golden Hearts Club by simply doing something nice for another person. And, you know, kindness can change lives, and it is a true fact.
Yeah, I am a believer. Now, I have always paid it forward, but I didn't know that it didn't have a name when I used to do it. It was just something I did. I would do something for someone, and they said, let me do this. And I said, do something for someone else. I'm good. Do something for someone else. And then like 10 years later, there was a movie called Pay It Forward. And there's this little kid, and I was so angry. Oh, man. I said, really? I said, no, but I've been doing that since I was that age. I'm 20-something years old. I've been doing that for 20 years. And I was so angry because, first of all, it gave it a name. Right. It's just something I did. And now it has a name, Paying It Forward. I am actually typing my address and stuff into the chat room, the private chat, not the public chat. You'll be the only one to see it. They can't see it because otherwise people will be showing up at my house trying to steal my food from my raccoons. So let me type, and I'm not a very great typist. I hunt and peg system, and you notice, you see, I'm looking at the keyboard.
You have 2 fingers.
Yes, I'm looking down at the keyboard, and then I look up to see what I've typed. So
you might want to take a typing class. You can probably.
I did.
You did?
I did. Oh, well, I took a typing class when I was in the 6th grade. In 6th grade, I went to night school to learn to type.
Oh, well, they didn't teach you very well.
They taught me I never maxed out at more than 28 words a minute. Because it's confidence. It's confidence.
It is.
Because you have to be able to, like during the class, I could find home and stuff. But once I got out of the class, I resorted back to this. I started like this, and then it goes right back to this. So, yeah, I also took shorthand. And it got to the point where I didn't even remember my shorthand anymore. I just started making up my own. By the time I got to college, I had my own shorthand for stuff. And then by the time, and every year in college, I had to reinvent my shorthand because I couldn't remember what code I had last year before.
Nice.
Because my codes were class specific. So like when I was in astrology, I had one set of codes, and I was in whatever classes I took. Okay, that is right. I just put it in the chat so you can see that there in the private chat. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, and you go by Dwayne, right?
Well, or GD Fenderson, or GD Dwayne. That's fine. Dwayne would be DWAYNE, which I didn't know until I became an adult. I was misspelling my middle name for years.
Yeah, because you can spell it the other way too. DUANE
or DEW, DUA, DW. For years, I spelled it D''W because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better until I think I got my passport. No, I had to get my birth certificate so I can get my passport, and then I saw how to spell my name. So I was like 40 years old when I learned to spell my name.
Okay.
And nobody corrected me because they just thought I was being different.
Yeah, you were being different, misspelling your name.
Yeah. So I appreciate you doing this, and hopefully we get some people to buy some books.
Thank you.
And come back again, especially once you get your other book going. When you come back, tell us how you wound up in Texas.
Okay.
All right.
That's another story.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Cinda. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Bye-bye. Okay. That was Cinda K. Swally. The book is Golden Hearts Club, and check it out. It's The Adventures of Kate and Megan Summers. So check that out. I don't know who tomorrow's guests are. I didn't take the time to find out. Don't care. But thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Before, let me see, today's Wednesday. I'm going to plug my show tomorrow on the 19th at the Stables in Westminster, Maryland. And on the 20th, I'm in Laguna Beach, California. Both shows will be available on plausible.com if you can't make it to the extra shows live, because I don't expect people to be there. If you're obviously, like, if you're in California, I don't expect you to be in Westminster. But if you're near Laguna Beach, please stop in. And if you're in Westminster, please stop in for that show. Otherwise, check it out on Plausible. Again, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And now I know that I'm supposed to play Walk Around Nappy. I think that's the name of Matt's song, but I'm not. I'm going to do my song, or one of my songs, because I can. Thanks a lot, and catch you tomorrow morning.
But I haven't got a clue what it is I have to be to get next to you. Well, I guess another man would know those lines and lies and law, but I've never learned those posh cliches you've heard them all before. Do I go broke wearing fancy clothes, and do I play games? Do I just put on a show, and do I pretend that I'm something else? And do I risk it all to make a fool of myself? Am I fooling myself? Oh, I haven't got a clue. How do I make a bond between me and you now, woman? I'm tired of being blue. So tell me what to do, 'cause I haven't got a clue. Show, and do I pretend that I'm something else? And do I risk it all and make a fool of myself? Am I fooling myself? Oh, I haven't got a clue. How do I make a bond between me and you now, woman? I'm tired of being blue. But tell me what to do, 'cause I haven't got a clue.